Today's focus is tools for real estate investors in 2024 and beyond. What about if we could use a tool like ChatGPT with some other tools that are associated with it? I have a land flipping coach and analyst, which is basically programmed with an educational resource. But what I wanted to show you is how you might use this. But what about if you want to have it analyze deals for you? Say you're looking at a new property in a certain area. What would Pierre say about this property and opportunity, and what my first steps would be with doing due diligence? If you want an aid to help you get a little further along before you ask a friend, this might just be that. Really honing in on which markets are the best. The power of this is pretty incredible. Welcome back to the REI Hot Seat and Happy New Year. Andrew Hines here for a solo episode, and today's focus is tools for real estate investors. It's 2024 now. How can you use the tools we have available, the AI tools, what have you, and the resources we have, because we've never had access to more information. Now, the key thing is distilling that information and getting the right information. So how do we take all that and succeed better in 2024 and beyond? And it's a pretty exciting time from a tech standpoint, just in terms of what's possible with AI. And what I wanted to do today is just show you what I've been up to. So with it being the new year, obviously a lot of people are thinking about goals and taking it to the next level and how you're going to do things differently this year. And if you're anything like me, you benefit from talking it over with somebody. Kind of like having a coach. Like when I used to push up a lot of heavy weight at the gym, I would always go with a workout buddy, and we would kind of trash talk each other and really motivate each other, and spot each other, of course, to get better results. And just like it works in real estate, people with a coach tend to, probably accelerate a little bit faster into their investing endeavors. Well, what about if we could use a tool like ChatGPT with some other tools that are associated with it and actually get the ability to access information, like have a coach on a specific topic that you want? Now, I'm going to give you some examples, but first off, I'll just show you some of the things I've worked on. So if you go into ChatGPT, and this is for the paid version, there was a wait list for this, but I don't know, I got through the wait list and have it now. If you're not already a subscriber, I'd highly recommend it, because it is a supercomputer. It is something that can do massive amounts of research and analysis and distillation of data for you for $20 a month, which I think is an absolute no-brainer. I pay for much, much more expensive tools in my business, so this is a relatively low cost. And I think you'll see that it could be a very low cost for you too. So the thing I like the best is the personalized GPTs. So in the plus version of ChatGPT, you can actually create your own bots. So I kind of went in and I saw that you could do that. You can, where is it? It's up here at the top, create a GPT. So you can see I've already done a couple. I have a land flipping coach and analyst, which is basically programmed with an educational resource that teaches it, and I can ask this bot questions about course material. Same thing goes with Business Brainwave below. This is something that I've created to help build out a business plan for my camp and hospitality business, just to keep everything organized in one place, and it actually can help with the writing of it as well. Of course, nothing's ever going to replace me in that process, but it will help speed things along. Another one I've done is Andrew's Insights, and this is where we kind of get into the gravy, so to speak, here of what can be done. Because what I did with this one is, and I'll show you, you just basically can click on it. Oops. You can go to this little pen and you can configure, and I've basically created this bot. I told it what I wanted it to be. So you go to the builder and you basically just tell it, what are you building? So build me a bot that will do the following. And then you go to configure, and you can actually upload transcripts. You can upload content. So what I did is I actually went and summarized the information from my first 30 podcast episodes and the last, say, 20 REI Hot Seat episodes. And I told the bot to sort of assimilate my rhetoric, my way of speaking, my philosophy about investing, and it basically summarized and gleaned my core values as an investor from those episodes. So now I could theoretically allow people to use that bot and kind of, I mean, obviously nothing's perfect, but they could get an idea of how I might respond or how I might phrase things. But I'm actually going to use this internally with my social media team to make sure that we're saying things in a way that I would say them. And so when we're coming up with titles, when we're coming up with descriptions, this bot will be able to do that stuff. And obviously there's lots more that can be done, but this is a big time saver for me, or will be. It isn't necessarily now, but it's going to be, in my opinion. Okay, so that's one. And then we've got a couple others here, but what I wanted to show you is how you might use this. So say I'd like to have a coach. I think anybody could benefit from a coach, but say I'm really into fixing my habits. It's the new year. I want to build better habits. I want to understand my habits and make a plan around them. So say I want to create a habits coach or a success coach, but I want that success coach to be an expert in habits and know the rhetoric of somebody that's extremely good at coaching habits. So just so happens that this came up. I did a quick search on YouTube for audiobooks. And I'll get to how you do this, but so audiobooks full length, and you scroll down. Oh, look at that. Atomic Habits come up. So Atomic Habits is a book I have on Audible. Listened to it a couple of years ago. I don't remember everything from it. Like so many pieces of content I absorb, I get a bit of it and then I forget a lot of it. What if I wanted to be able to interact with it, ask it questions? Hey, this is what I'm thinking about doing. Here's my current level of success. You can program that all into the bot and have it be your coach. It knows where you're at, and now you can ask it questions about this. So here's the cool thing. I take this audiobook and I can actually go using a plugin called Merlin, which you can download and build into your browser. Now, when you're on a YouTube video, it'll ask you if you want to summarize the video or get a transcript. I'll just click transcript and then get transcript. So now I've got, 6 hours worth of text summarized. I can just go right here, copy with timestamps, and then I can go into ChatGPT right over here, create a bot, and I can say, build me a success bot. But even before I do that, I can give it a name here, and I can go right in here and I can upload a file and simply take a Word document. So paste all that information into a Word document and upload it into the bot. And now I can say, when I'm creating the bot, build me a bot that for a success coach. So build me a bot that acts as a success coach. Hopefully it gets my spelling error there. So it'll just do its thing. It'll update. You can actually have it search the internet and do research for you too. And now I haven't yet uploaded the document of Atomic Habits here, but okay, so it'll ask you what you want to call it. Now you can start giving it the more detailed information. Without getting too much into the nuts and bolts here, I spent a lot of time in the programming section because this part won't forget. It can save your progress. So everything you tell it, teach it, you could save it. And then when you actually do the real sessions, once you've saved the bot, I'm just going to exit here. I make sure that I'm working specifically with the regular chat window. So anybody who's used to ChatGPT, you'll know that. Anyways, this was just a high level look at what you could do from a success and goal setting prospect. But what about if you want to have it analyze deals for you? Well, say you go find somebody who's excellent at analyzing deals. So who's the guy? Pierre-Paul Turgeon in Ontario. So you go find a bunch of his interviews, you find some content that he's published, a bunch of articles, his analysis approach, you start putting it all in, and you get all that information and upload it to a bot. So now you know how Pierre analyzes properties, and you can basically ask questions. So say you're looking at a new property in a certain area, you can say, ask Pierre, what would Pierre say about this property and opportunity, and what my first steps would be with doing due diligence? And it'll, search its knowledge database and say, oh, well, the first things you're going to want to do are, X, Y, and Z based on Neil's, content, Neil's book, or whatever it is you uploaded. So now it starts to give you an idea of what you would, how you would process and approach that specific due diligence. Now, nothing's perfect. Of course, nothing replaces real people. But if you want an aid to help you get a little further along before you ask a friend, this might just be that. And one of the ones that I'm actually planning on doing is Neil Bawa. I had this guy on my podcast about 2 months ago. Fantastic episode. He talked a lot about basically picking markets and picking them based on data. So data-driven market finding and decisions. And his approach is something where I could learn a ton from this guy. So I'm actually planning on having my assistant transcribe a bunch of his recent episodes, and I'm going to build a bot out of that. Who knows where this is on my priority list. I got a few other things to do too, but I think this could be incredibly useful for really honing in on which markets are the best. What would Neil say about this market? Being able to ask stuff like that to a bot could be incredibly insightful. And I'm not saying it won't make mistakes, because the thing I've noticed with ChatGPT is it makes a ton of mistakes. You really got to be on it. But if you do little checkups and, confirm that you understand the following by doing the following, I'll ask it stuff like that. And then it can prove to me that it knows and understands the topic matter. But anyway, so I could actually copy, say you have my spreadsheet, say you use my spreadsheet to analyze deals. Well, you can actually do that on Google Docs, and you can share the link with ChatGPT and say, analyze the numbers and tell me if you think this is a good deal, or ask me a few questions about this to determine if this is a good deal. So it'll analyze the numbers, and it'll tell you, what it thinks based on what it knows. And you might even want to ask it, what are some areas that we should perform sensitivity on based on what you know? And it could tell you that stuff. So the power of this is pretty incredible. The shortcuts, for somebody like me who's been investing for 12 years to see the value in this and think that this could help me a ton. This could help streamline things. I could just run deals through. I can have people on my team. Say I program the bot very well, I could have even my assistant analyzing deals and running them through the bot, applying my process, my methodology, the way I analyze deals to it, so that she can just basically work her way through and say, hey, the following deals are pretty good. I ran them through the bot. And then these other ones aren't as good for the following reasons. Again, I just think the opportunity with that is great. It's not perfect. It's still developing technology, but if this is where we're at the end of 2023, start of 2024, I can only imagine it's going to get more interesting from here. And you're going to want to be on the cutting edge of this. You're not going to want to be falling behind. I've said repeatedly that I think that the advent of AI is really going to eliminate the button pusher jobs. And so the more you could be an expert at instructing it and working with it and using it in your business now, I think that is going to serve you in the future. That's just my prediction, not that I know. But anyways, this was a very unique and very different episode from what I've typically done. I'm hoping you found that valuable. New Year's look, I just wanted to do something a bit different. And we'll be back again next week with Jake. Hopefully we'll be analyzing a deal. And if you've enjoyed this, please take a moment and just share it with somebody. Please like, subscribe, leave a comment below. Those things just, again, really, really important this day and age. While real estate's still not sexy, we're still working our way out of this, age that we're in with real estate. So I really appreciate your dedication and loyalty to this show, and we'll see you next week.